Memorial Day to me is a day that we remember all those for us who have sacrificed the ultimate sacrifice so that we can live in a free society and how we do today. My grandfather, he fought in World War II. He was a Coast Guard officer. He actually detected a U-boat in the Long Island Sound. So he's kind of a hero, and he is one of the people that I remember on this day. And it's just very important to remember those. They gave the ultimate sacrifice for everything we have today. We owe them everything. So happy Memorial Day, everyone.
Welcome to AI Powered by People, where we explore what happens when products, brands, and today, the memories of those we've lost are given a voice. I'm Sarah Nagle, and this Memorial Day we pause to honor the brave individuals who made the ultimate sacrifice while serving in the United States Armed Forces. Their stories, their legacies, and the void they left behind are at the heart of our reflection in today's episode. For many, Memorial Day signals the unofficial start of summer, a welcome long weekend, barbecues, and a break from routine. But as the grills fire up, it's easy for the meaning of this day to become overshadowed, its purpose sometimes lost in the excitement of the season. To truly understand the depth of Memorial Day and reconnect with its core meaning, we asked our community to share their personal connections and thoughts on remembrance. We talked about what this holiday signifies beyond just a day off, about the relatives they've lost in service to our country, their stories, and their legacies. We explored the deep human learning to connect, pondering what it would mean to be able to speak to the memory of these cherished individuals in a world where AI is rapidly evolving and enabling these conversations. Memorial Day, once known as Decoration Day, started as local observances, like the gathering of freed slaves in Charleston in 1865, uniting a nation in grief and remembrance after the Civil War. By 1868, it gained national prominence. As America faced new conflicts, the day evolved to honor all service members who made the ultimate sacrifice. Now celebrated on the last Monday of May, its core purpose endures: a unified national monument to reflect on the profound cost of freedom, and to ensure that the legacies of our fallen heroes are never forgotten. The foundation of Memorial Day is built upon the individuals, the sons, the daughters, brothers, sisters, parents, and friends who answered the call to serve and did not return. We asked our listeners to share who they are remembering and what made these individuals so special.
What made my grandfather special was the fact that everybody saw him as this tough, strong, kind of gruff man, but he wasn't. He had this other side to him that only, I think, maybe us girls, us granddaughters saw. This sweet, soft man that, picked us up when we'd fall and scrape our knees, fix our bikes, or teach us how to do things, how to fix things, and not to depend on anybody for things that you could do yourself.
My dad's father, Raymond Loss, he was trying to Burma India Corps. He's special because he was very dedicated and very honored to serve. He's proud of what he did. He's proud of his country. He loved his family and he wanted to protect them in every which way possible.
He was drafted and went in as a communications specialist. When he was in Vietnam, he carried around a rucksack full of Bibles, knowing the consequences of his actions if he were to be caught with those Bibles. The fact that he wanted to spread that hope and joy to so many people when he didn't have to has always been an inspiration to me.
The finality of loss often leaves behind a deep yearning for one more conversation, a chance to say unspoken words or to simply hear their voice again. We asked our community if they could have a conversation with those they've lost. What would they want to talk to their loved ones about?
I'd want them to know how much I appreciate and love them, how much I respect and hold them in regard. I'd want to know what they wanted their lives to be like what they wanted for the people in their lives that they loved and cared about.
I'd want to know what it was like when he was a kid, what times were like, what that era of life was like. What did they do for fun?
I would ask him, the first thing that comes to my mind is how he feels about how the country that he fought hard to protect and give us all the rights we have today. How does he feel about what's going on right now? It's a very scary time we live in, and I would really like to just, pick his brain and see how he really feels about it and get his perspective on it. I think that would be very interesting and telling.
This desire to connect, to hear a voice, to ask one more question of those we've lost, is a universal human experience, especially poignant on days like Memorial Day. It's a yearning that brings us to a fascinating, and for some, perhaps an even unsettling intersection with emerging technology. While our podcast often explores how AI can give voice in many ways, the idea of actually conversing with those who have passed is moving beyond pure speculation or fiction. It's becoming a very real conversation. Active discussions and early explorations are underway, looking at how AI can gather the sum of a person's documented life, their letters, emails, social media, photographs, and even their voice recordings. The goal is to recreate an interactive likeness, an AI-powered echo. And it's through emerging technologies and platforms, like ours at Verve Labs, that experiences enabling us to converse with digital representations of our loved ones could one day become possible. Think about the implications beyond just personal grief. Consider the vast databases that already exist, that have preserved information about those who are gone. Platforms like Ancestry.com hold generations of family histories and personal documents. What if AI could allow us to interact with those archives in a new way? Not just read about our ancestors, but engage with a nuanced representation of them, pieced together from the sum of their recorded lives. Or imagine places of deep collective memory, the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, Pearl Harbor National Memorial, or even the historic halls of Ellis Island. These are already powerful monuments to lives lived and sacrifices made. Could AI, drawing from historical records, testimonials, and documented experiences, offer future generations a different kind of immersive understanding, perhaps allowing them to ask questions of a composite representation of the experiences of those who passed through or are commemorated there? Some of you might recall the Black Mirror episode, Be Right Back, Season 2, Episode 1, if you missed it. This episode tells the story of a widow interacting with an AI recreation of her deceased husband based on his social media recordings and posts. While once science fiction, the technological underpinnings for such concepts are steadily advancing. Exploring ideas like this forces us to confront profound questions about the very nature of memory, the delicate processes of our grief, the complex ethics of anything resembling digital resurrection, and ultimately what it truly means to preserve legacy. It's with these weighty and often intensely personal considerations that we then posed a question directly to our community. What would it mean to have a conversation with an AI likeness of a loved one who has passed? And as you might expect, the responses were a spectrum. Some filled with a sense of profound possibility, and others with understandable skepticism and caution.
If I could take all the pictures and letters and everything that I have and my family has from my grandfather who passed and made it into a AI interactive figure, I think that would mean the world to me. I think it would mean the world to my mother, who misses him dearly. We were very close to him. I remember him as a little kid. I remember everything about him, but I haven't heard his voice in so long. And I think that would just that would hit me pretty hard if I had heard his voice again. That would be incredible.
I don't know how I feel about that exactly. I'm kind of on the fence about that one. I miss him, and yeah, it would be nice to see him again, but to have something generate him and speak to me as it wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be the same at all. It wouldn't have his heart and his feelings and the person he truly was. It would be a thought of who he was, a likeness of who he was.
I honestly think that it would be groundbreaking technology-wise, but I also don't think that it would be something I would like, because it wouldn't be that person. It would be imprints of that person. I wouldn't actually be talking to them or having any kind of meaningful interaction with that person.
That would mean a world, that would be my unanswered questions, that would be a closure to many things, that would be something, the advice, the love, it's not just about their voice and their face again. It's more about sharing again a moment with them.
The voices we've heard highlight sacrifice, love, and the human need to remember. Through stories, memories, or even new technologies, the core desire is to honor the spirit of those who gave their all. Giving voice to these experiences strengthens our understanding and our promise to never forget. We're curious to hear your thoughts. What do you think about speaking with those we've lost using AI? Share your ideas with us using hashtag AI powered by people, or reach out to us on social media. Remember, it's your voices and stories that will shape the future of AI. This is Sarah Nagle, and you've been listening to AI Powered by People, a podcast brought to you by Verve Labs. A profound thank you to our community members who generously shared their voices and memories for this episode: Eric, Sarita, Jordan, Prachi, and Rebecca. This episode is produced and edited by me, social media by Katie Sizemore, and our researcher is Annalise Larson. Join us every Tuesday as we continue to explore the fascinating ways voices, human and artificial, can shape our world.